Hello investors, I'm Robbie with BDO Securities and welcome to the first video in our 4-part tutorial series. Now we made this tutorial series to help you navigate the basics of BDO Securities and to help educate you, so by the end of these 4 videos you'll be able to buy your very first stock. So if you're new to this whole investing thing, we've got you covered in this video series. And if you're already a seasoned investor, don't worry, because by the end of this, you'll at least understand how to use the BDO Securities platform. So here's what you can expect in this 4-part tutorial. In our first video, which is the video you're watching right now, we'll be going over why to invest in the stock market. We'll discuss the funding and withdrawal of your account, and we'll go over the BDO Securities fees. In video 2, we'll go through a platform tutorial. We'll discuss the different order types and how to buy offerings like IPOs. The third video is going to be all about long-term investing. We'll go over how to find stocks, dividend-paying stocks, and risk management when it comes to long-term investing. And the fourth and final video, we'll talk about short-term trading. We'll go over how to find different trades. We'll talk about our trade recap that we put out monthly. And we'll talk about risk management in terms of short-term trading. So let's get started and ask a question. Why invest in the stock market? As long as you invest your money properly and grow your money over a long-term period of time, it'll help you grow your wealth. And to show you how this works, let's take a look at this chart. Imagine you invested 100,000 pesos back in 2011, and you kept that money invested until July of 2021. What would your money be worth? So if you had invested that money in time deposits, it'd be worth just over 124,000 pesos. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, that's great. I gained money. I gained wealth. But there's unfortunately a little bit of a problem. You see, inflation actually grew faster than your time deposits, which means the prices of goods and services grew faster than your money. So in order to build wealth, you want to grow your money, and especially grow it at a rate faster than inflation. Now, what if you invested instead in bonds? Well, bonds would have grown to 177,892 pesos. So a much higher rate of return than if you had invested in time deposits, and definitely outpaced inflation. Now, what about stocks? So if you'd invested the 100,000 pesos in stocks, most of the time, it outpaced both bonds, time deposits, and inflation. However, the pandemic hit, and because stocks have more risk than bonds, they lost more money, and they're getting close to the return of bonds. Now, over long-term periods of time, we expect stocks to outpace bonds, inflation, and time deposits, of course. But over short-term periods of time, stocks don't always go straight up. It's really over long-term periods of time. So hopefully now you understand how important it is to invest to grow your wealth. So let's now go over how to actually fund your BDO Securities account so you can start investing. So first, from the home page, I'm going to go to online trading login, and I'm going to click login. I'll add my username and password, and then I'll click login. I'll add my OTP, which is a one-time passcode. This can be texted to you, or you can find it using your BDO online banking app. Now, there is a BDO Securities app that you can download from the App Store or Google Play, and you can always fund your BDO Securities account using your app. But today I'll be using my PC. Now, as you can see, I'm logged into my BDO Securities portal. I'm going to simply go to Fund Account. I'm going to make sure the currency I want is correct. I want Philippine pesos. I'm going to make sure that the account is correct. If I have multiple accounts, I want to make sure I fund with the correct account. Now, I'm always going to view my balance because I want to make sure I have enough money to fund my BDO Securities account. So after I make sure I have enough money, I'll add the amount that I want. 10,000 pesos is what I'll do, and then I'll hit deposit. And what is amazing about BDO Securities is that this will deposit instantly. There should be no lag time. Now, let's say you funded your account, but a few days later, you want to take some money out. Well, this is also extremely easy, extremely fast, and it happens instantly. So you'll just go to withdraw cash, make sure the currency you want is correct. You'll see your available balance, and you'll withdraw as much as you want. I'll withdraw 5,000 pesos, and I'll click withdraw cash. So it really is so simple to add money and withdraw money from your account. Now, before you start investing, you might want to understand how the fees work for BDO Securities. So let's go over the fees. Let's say you want to purchase 10,000 pesos of a stock. How much money would this end up costing you? So first, the gross amount that you'll be purchasing is 10,000 pesos, and the gross amount you'll be selling is also 10,000 pesos. Now the broker commission is 0.25% of the gross amount or 20 pesos, whichever is more. So you'll never pay less than 20 pesos for a trade. So in this situation, because 0.25% is more than 20 pesos, we're going to pay 25 pesos for the broker commission. Now when we sell, we'll also be paying 25 pesos as well. Next, we'll have to pay VAT on the commission. So a 12% VAT will be paid on the 25 peso commission, and that will be 3 pesos. Next, there is a SCCP fee of 0.01% of the gross amount, 1 peso for buying and 1 peso for selling. When you sell a stock, you'll pay 0.60% sales tax, and this will be on the gross amount. So in this example, you'll pay 60 pesos. So the net amount you would end up spending to buy 10,000 pesos of stock, 10,029 pesos. So it would cost you 29 pesos to buy this amount of stock. And if you were selling 10,000 pesos of stock, the net amount would be 9,911 pesos. Now for those of you who trade stocks often, you may be able to take advantage of daily gross trades. So for example, let's say January 15th, you bought Jollibee, or ticker symbol JFC, and you purchased 2,000 pesos worth of stock. Well, you would pay the minimum amount, which is 20 pesos. And let's say the same day you bought another 2,000 pesos of Jollibee stock, you'd have to pay another 20 pesos. But let's say you decide to buy a third time during that day, the same stock, Jollibee, and let's say you purchased 6,000 pesos of stock this time, you would think that it would be another 20 pesos. But that's not the case, because you're going to be taking advantage of daily gross trades. Because the total of your trades in one day of the same stock was more than 8,000 pesos, you're only going to have to pay the 0.25% commission. So you'll only pay 25 pesos in this example, instead of the 60 pesos that would have been charged if you had bought less than 8,000 pesos of stock. Now, make sure you remember that the trade must execute by the end of the day. If all trades don't execute by the end of the day and you end up trading less than 8,000 pesos worth of stock in the same company, then you will be charged the minimum 20 pesos. Just keep that in mind. Now, if daily gross trades are confusing to you and you're not a trader who buys and sells often during the day, you may not need to worry about daily gross trades. But if you are a trader who buys and sells the same stock often during the same day, then you can take advantage of this. So that is all we have for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm confident that by the end of this 4-video series, you're going to be buying your first stock. So, good luck trading this week.